Hello, good morning or good evening everyone. I'm Snagattack and welcome to today's video. For today I'm here to teach you guys how to build these really fast electric cars like this using motors in Tears of the Kingdom. So aside from how fast they are, they do have a few downsides. Firstly, they do struggle to go uphill. Secondly, they pull to the left or they pull in whatever direction your main wheel is like on. And lastly, they are a bit difficult to control since you can't back up at all with them. But aside from that, these things are really fast and they're really fun to mess around with. Now to start, we're going to head over to the Gemmamic Shrine to pick up the motors for the axles and to help power the wheels to overspin them and make them go really fast. Now that we're here in the Gemmamic Shrine, what we're going to do is we're going to run up and we're going to fuse something to the motor to make it permanent, or to at least get the auto build for it, rather. So I'm going to drop the spear I'm going to be using in construction later, and I'm just going to glue it to the side of the motor like so. We're just going to try and line it up as best we can in the center. And with that, we have the auto build saved, and we're going to head back over to the Hudson construction site. Alright, now that we're here, we're going to head over in this direction to get some room to work with. So firstly, we're going to drop out the spear we were working with, and we're going to drop out the two shock emitters that we're going to need to build with later. Alright, and with that, next we're going to switch to auto build to make one of the motors we need. Perfect. From here, we're going to grab this thing over here, because this already has the wheels lined up in the direction that we want, and then I'm going to shake the platform to unglue it really quickly. Drop the platform back over here, and I'm going to use this wheel. There we go. So next up, I'm going to take one of these shock emitters, I'm going to come over here, and we're going to glue it to the spoke of the wagon wheel. There we go. So next up, we're going to flip the wheel on its side, and we're going to attach the shock emitter to it at the angle it's glued at, because we're trying to get the wheel level. Does that make sense? If I waffle at explaining like I think I am, just basically use this as a visual perspective. We're trying to glue it at an angle so that it mostly levels out with the big wheel, but it will be at a slight angle. And then once you've got that all thrown together, we're going to use auto build to make the next one. So we're going to grab this big wheel, we're going to grab this shock emitter, and we're going to come over here and grab a wagon wheel. Alrighty, so now let's just get these set up properly. Set this right here. So next, let's drop the spear where you need again. This is going to be the base, or not the base, this is going to be the frame of the vehicle. So we're going to come up and we're going to glue it to the center like we did before. We're going to try and line it up as best we can. There we go. And then we're gonna come over here and line it up like so. Now if we flip it over, it should set itself up properly. There we go. Looking good. So if you notice, it is a slight angle, but that's fine for this. It'll still work perfectly fine. So next we're gonna grab a fan and glue it to the back so it'll deal with hills a bit better. It looks like it's facing in this direction, right? Yeah. And then we just need a steering stick, which luckily enough there's one right over here. So we're gonna glue this right on top of this spear here. And with that, we have our electric guitar, we have our electric car. Yeah, this thing isn't super difficult to throw together, as you can see. It just takes a minute, a little bit of setup to go and get the motor, but other than that, these things are pretty simple, and like I said before, these things move really fast. Though as I'll show here in a moment, they do really struggle with hills because they'll lose a lot of speed and they can't really continue up them. But aside from this, I hope you guys found the build useful, and I hope you guys managed to come up with like some really interesting builds from this. These cars are really fun to mess around with because of how fast they can be, and I'd love to see what you guys do come up with. But with that aside, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to catch you guys around next time. Take care, everyone.